Good evening, everybody. Mr. First Down here with you, and welcome to the LTS show. I am your host, Mr. First Down, for this evening. Yes, I've taken over. You see, Tanner and Nick have finally, consummated their relationship and have headed off to Vegas. I wish the happy couple the best. But we are going to hold down the fort while they are gone. Tonight, we are talking about the NFC West with Bo. And Bo is coast to coast. Is it coast to coast, Bo? Coast to coast sports, yeah?
No. So Coast to Coast is actually just one of my shows. It's a daily show that we have on Roku. So so that's actually just the name of that show. My actual media company is Access Sports, and then my brand is Football Talk.
Okay, all right. Gotcha. All right. Access Sports. Anyway, I'll bring the guys here in just a second. We have a great show. We're going to preview the NFC. We also got a couple of news stories to get to. So before we go ahead and get all of that started, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our Hall of Famer, the man who has the biggest floor on the retirement home, bigger than Keith Ingles. His name is, of course, Scott Cobe. Remember, he could play if he wanted to. The body is just not letting him. It always happens. Father Time is undefeated, but Scott's spirit will last forever. Scott, how are you, sir?
I'm great. I look good for 135, don't I?
Thank you.
135. That's number one. Number two is don't wish that on Tanner, please. Please don't wish that on Tanner.
Don't you want them to be happy, Scott? I'm happy for them.
I am too. I didn't know this was happening, so congratulations to the happy couple.
So sudden. It's so storybook. It's like a Taylor Swift song.
Once Nick gets his claws into you, that's it. It's over. So
absolutely.
You never forget. So.
Scott, how is the shuffleboard tournament? He's winning, of course, Alan. He's winning.
That was bocce balls, Alan, not shuffleboard. Come on, get it right.
Next up, I'm going to introduce the man from he's not from the Bronx, right? Where is he from? Where are you from, Johnny?
Florida.
Wow, I love the way you're introducing everybody.
I'm having fun
by asking questions. No, I was born in the Bronx. I was actually raised in Yonkers, New York, which is a little north of the Bronx, about half hour north of the Bronx.
Gotcha.
Westchester.
Yonkers.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
as we say in Boston, Yonkers.
Okay, all right.
YO, baby.
Okay, all right. So this guy was born in the Bronx. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Johnny Cruz, ladies and gentlemen, the great Johnny Cruz. At least we think it is. It could be a government agent.
What's going on, man? No, it is me. Just physically can't be on camera right now.
It's NFC West tonight.
Contrary to what people think, I did not get beat up by my wife. I just have some back problems, so I am laying comfortable as I can be.
You tripped, you fell. These things happen.
Oh yes. I tripped and fell. That's what happened.
This is how we know it's Johnny Cruz. Johnny, one question. Your son
Boston sucks. Yes, Boston sucks.
Your son calls Tua the what? What would your son call Tua?
Oh my God! I don't even want to talk about that.
I
don't even want to talk about that. My son, shout out to my son Jonathan. I love him to death. I apologize to him for several years for making him a Dolphin fan. So he's actually finally got himself a quarterback that he likes. So he gets a little carried away with his enthusiasm for a Tua Tagovailoa. But after having 20 years of Cleo Lemon and people like that as his quarterback, I'm happy that he's actually got a good one. Hopefully, we see what happens as far as the contract. But no, shout out to John.
Johnny, don't you miss the Jay Fiedler days? Don't you miss those days?
Well, I mean, because when Jay Fiedler was here, we had Ricky, and we actually won some games. That's the last time we won a playoff game. Actually, was in 2000. Was with Dave Wannstedt and Jay Fiedler. So. Yeah, I missed that. I just don't miss Cleo Lemon, Ray Lucas, and all the other cast of garbage that we had.
I forgot about
Alan, please don't do this, Alan. Come on now.
No, don't stop.
You do not want to talk about quarterbacks when your quarterback's name is Dak Prescott.
We're trying to help Sam along here. Come on, Alan. Don't start it, please.
Yeah.
When Dak's
no
out of
reason to
Miami
be this way. You guys are still scare that guy under Access Media or Access West. That guy, his name is Bo Crouch. How are you, Mr. Bo Crouch?
Doing good. I didn't realize I needed to bring marshmallows to this dumpster fire.
We're a Pop-Tart show, sir.
Yeah. What's your favorite Pop-Tart, Bo, before we start?
Notice that I didn't ask the question. I didn't want that on record. Sorry, Bo, you have to deal with those bozos. Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's accurate. Favorite Pop-Tart, definitely the strawberry.
Okay.
That a boy. Not that boring.
Sam, write that down. Sam, write that down.
Yeah, that's right.
Strawberry, very important. So we're gonna get things started tonight. Johnny Cruz has his teeth more into the WNBA than I do, but it's hard to ignore any news that involves Caitlin Clark nowadays. Yep. It is everywhere. You can't escape it, especially in the dead zone. Now it seems like it's turned up to 11. Okay. She has broken the record for the most assists, if I read that correctly.
Should 19, right?
Yeah,
19.
Yeah. That's impressive.
It is. It is absolutely impressive. Everyone, please don't unsubscribe. When you go on a plane or something, make him turn his phone off. God help me. Anyway, it's my system. It's my show. Anyway, so it's time for the hostile takeover. But it just seems to me that some people are complaining that they're not making this a big enough deal. Some people say, oh, for God's sake, she did 19. Oh, I thought he was going to say something about my mom. I know it's coming, though. I know it's coming. Anyway, so some people are complaining they're not making a big enough deal about it, and they're still asking, is she going to get the respect she deserves? When is it going to happen?
When the players in the league give her the respect, I think. When the players in the league start respecting this woman for what she has brought to the WNBA and the money that she's brought in. The money is flying into the WNBA like crazy. They signed a new TV deal, I think, for millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So, and they would not have done that, I don't think, without Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, too. People forget about Angel Reese.
Yes.
She's had a really big impact on the WNBA as well. So, Caitlin's doing what Caitlin did at Iowa, except on a higher level because it's professional now. So,
yeah, she's definitely brought more eyeballs, obviously, to the WNBA. As far as the WNBA itself, I think they've done a bit of a disservice to themselves by not embracing her more. And I know some people say that what are they supposed to bend the knee? Like I've heard reporters and stuff like no. But at the same time, you can acknowledge the fact that the girl is a good ball player. She obviously has a following. You know what I'm saying, whether you like it or not. So she's bringing more attention to the game, which is only going to benefit everybody else in the WNBA. So it's. Rookies are going to go through their hazing and their stuff like that, and they're going to take their hard fouls and stuff like that. It's the excessive stuff that was a little bit too much in the beginning. There was a Kennedy Carter incident. Obviously, most people know about that from early on in the season, but she's a baller, man, and she's a lot of fun to watch. It does suck that Cameron Brink got hurt. Angel Reese has a nice following. She's been playing well. As far as the whole rookie of the year thing, like that needs to just stop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Caitlin Clark is on another level, but there's a lot of good young talent in the WNBA. There's a lot of good talent in the WNBA, and the fact that more eyes are on the league, I think overall is a good thing because people may be coming in initially to see Caitlin Clark, but then they get to see a Kennedy Carter, who I just mentioned with the bad foul. On Caitlin Clark, she is a baller. That girl, she can play. Yeah. Angel Reese is a good player. Alan mentioned Cameron Brink, but you got Jewel Lloyd in Seattle. You got Jackie Young and that stacked aces bunch. Aja Wilson, who's the best player on the planet right now. She's killing it. Brianna Stewart, my favorite player, Sabrina Ionescu with the New York Liberty is killing it. So there's a lot of great talent in the WNBA. So I'm glad that that they're getting their recognition, finally. So she's definitely helping out the league. So I think they're starting to warm up to her as far as them not making a bigger issue of the 19 assists. It led most of the shows on ESPN this morning. So I think she's finally getting that recognition that she should get. But it was going to take some time, you know what I'm saying, for it to happen.
Right.
Stop, bro.
Yeah, don't agree with that at all. At all.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
It's not a real thing.
A really good young rookie
real.
class.
Fake.
Raheem Jackson from the Sparks is also having a good year. Aaliyah Edwards, who was drafted in the top 5 or 6, is having a nice year. Even Cordosa on the Chicago Sky with injuries is having a nice year, but Caitlin Clark is on a completely different level than everybody else in this rookie class. And she's she's shown it the last several weeks. Not only with the breaking the all-time assists in a game with 19, but she's breaking all kinds of records. She's the quickest to, I believe, 300 points, 150 assists, 150 rebounds. So she's breaking all kinds of WNBA records, and she's only halfway through her season. So she's going to continue to break records, and hopefully, as they get more popular, and Scott, you mentioned the deal, the media deal, the TV deal that they're getting. They're getting more and more endorsements now. So I'm happy for the WNBA that more people get to watch it and enjoy it the way I have over the last, I've enjoyed it from jump. I've always supported women's sports. I love women's softball, college softball, and basketball and stuff, and tennis and stuff. So I love all sports. So I'm happy that a lot of people are getting to see what I've been seeing for a long time.
I also noticed that Johnny didn't mention volleyball. So just then, Johnny Cruz hates volleyball.
No, I do like volleyball. I just, what I'm saying, I just don't watch it regularly.
Hey,
but
I'm driving the bus, Scott. I can stop it anywhere I want.
Shout out to my wife. Me and my wife, we watch the Women's College World Series every year
on the railroad tracks.
But I love sports, period. And that includes all women's sports too.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing. I think it's just great how many eyes they bring to her. Mr. Bo, do you have an opinion on it as well?
Yeah, no, of course. First, I'll start with the WNBA has the worst marketing team ever.
They do. They're really bad.
They have 2 iconic players that have been going at it, and it's something that's very different from the men's game at this point because it's a lot of one and done in the men's college sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the eyes have started to switch over to women's basketball because there is a 4-year path that you get to watch, right? Mm-hmm. So you get invested in the story the way you used to in the men's side of the game. So now you end up with Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. They go through that battle 2 years ago. They have a continuation of that. They hit the league, and you would think that the WNBA marketing machine would be pumping this rivalry up more than anything else. And instead, we still had to Google when the season started.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
So there's so much that, the stuff is writing itself and they're missing the boat on it. Like you're hearing about an individual player, right? But that has nothing to do with the WNBA. That has to do with ESPN is picking it up or Fox Sports is picking it up, right? They're like, oh, this happened. We haven't heard anything from the WNBA.
Yeah, because to Bo's point, here's the thing. It's like, oh, the Chicago Sky and the Indiana. Oh, by the way, Angel Reese is playing Caitlin Clark tonight. You might want to tune in and watch to see a good game. That's how it is. It's not the top 2 rookies in the WNBA are playing tonight in Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark. Right. On Friday, put it on a Sunday afternoon at 3:30 when everybody can watch it, not like a Tuesday night at like 8:30 when people
exactly. And why is it on the Ocho where you have to have an account to be able to watch this thing? Like if you want eyeballs on it, make it so people can see it. Right. I'm not buying some random streaming that I'm going to watch at 11 o'clock at night for no reason. Like that doesn't make any sense. So they've severely missed the boat in that way. And then on the other end, I disagree with you a little bit, Johnny, on Caitlin Clark just running away with it, because Angel Reese does have a solid case for it. Obviously, 15 double-doubles, that is a record. She missed, the one game, ends up with another, two, something like that. Okay, so same thing. But
money talks. Money talks.
So, I mean, and then, of course, when you're looking at Caitlin Clark's numbers, they obviously like to leave out the insane amount of turnovers that she's had. As soon as she cleans, if she cleans those up, if she cleans up the turnovers and those equal points, she will absolutely run away with this thing, no question. Yep. But because those exist, and it does hurt her point production, because when you're looking at the season up to this point, she's only scoring 2 points more per game than Angel Reese. Mm-hmm. That's not a great look when you figure she is a scoring position and Reese is more of a defensive and rebounding position. Because
and the other thing to that, Bo, is her coach has done her no favors. Okay,
no.
What she should have done in the preseason in practices is made Caitlin a more explosive player going to right. When she goes to her left, she's great. When she goes to her right, she struggles. So in preseason and in practice, when you're looking at her as a player,
she
struggles with the right. We got to get her go to the right.
I'll stop you there, though, because this is a unique situation that only the WNBA.
Right. There is no preseason.
There's no preseason. Exactly.
Right.
But when they've had this little practice, they've had.
They went from the national championship, right?
Right to the draft.
Two weeks later is the draft. 2 weeks after that, the season starts.
Wow. Yeah.
There's no practice time. So, I mean, all of the rookies are set up for failure anyway, not only because they didn't practice with their teams, but because they just got done with a full season.
Right.
Right. And if you're getting drafted high, you probably went far into
the tournament. Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, you're coming off an entire season, March Madness, and then you get a month break, and then you got to go do it live.
Right.
So, I don't really discount them for having bad shooting percentages to start. Admittedly, they're probably kind of exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrestlers going from town to town, it's just
but her coach has done no favor. Stay out the perimeter, Caitlin. Get the ball shooting.
To rebuttal the Caitlin Clark injuries, while I agree that Angel Reese is
closer than you were making it
no. I mean, it is because she had a nice streak with the double doubles, but if you watch the games and you look deeper into that, there's a lot more that goes into that than not. The other thing is she's a point guard. She handles the ball 80% of the time, so there are going to be turnovers. And if you watch the games, a lot of the turnovers are on passes that her teammates just can't handle. You know what I'm saying? Like she
definitely had those games.
But she
lost where she threw like 5 of them that hit him square in the hands. So
right.
I'm with you there.
But she does need to clean it up, of course. I mean, all these young women have to get better. She does need to get better in that aspect. But she is looking to facilitate first as opposed to score. And you hit it on the head, Scott, as far as her coach. Like her coach does not want her to like push the tempo and run, and that's when they're at their best, which is weird to me. But that's a whole different topic when you want to talk about Christy Sides, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, because that's just ridiculous. But I just think well, they're in the 7th spot now, and I mean this was a bad loss against Dallas, but they're getting better. But to Bo's point about the no preseason, they go right into it, and then they wanted to showcase Caitlin Clark so much that they had 11 games in the first 20 days of the season, and that was insane. They've played more games than any other team. So when she finally got, I think, like 6 days off in between games after like their 11th game is when they finally got to practice and actually you could see them getting better. So her not making the Olympics, which that's a whole other argument, is actually probably going to be good for her to get her some rest, and then they can have some practices. So I can only imagine how they're going to look in the second half. But the only reason that I say that it's not close is because while Angel Reese has exceeded my expectations, I knew she was a grinder and a defensive player. She's a monster on the boards. Like, I'm not gonna take that away from her. She's a monster on the boards, and her motor is always going. But like, Caitlin Clark impacts the entire game. You know what I'm saying? With her passing and her scoring. And, for as much as people want to hate on her defense, she leads all guards and blocks. She's in top 5 or 10 in steals. So she's not the greatest defender, but she does play defense. But I just think the way she's able to impact the game is just on a much higher level than what Angel Reese can do. So that's why I say as far as rookie of the year. But I love what Angel's doing, and I like that Chicago Sky team. I love Teresa Weatherspoon as a head coach for the Chicago Sky. She's probably the perfect coach for Kennedy Carter because people only know Kennedy Carter's name because of that incident with Caitlin Clark, but she was the number 3 pick just about 4 years ago, and it's for a reason because she is. Like, you can't guard her. She's unguardable. If she is focused on the basketball game, like you saw what she just did to Kelsey Plum and the Aces. Like, she completely destroyed her. So that Chicago squad is fun. But like I said, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, if Caitlin Clark brings eyeballs to the WNBA, and then you wind up seeing Kennedy Carter and other players, and then, I'm saying, I just want the WNBA in all to do well. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody else to enjoy what I've enjoyed over these last several years. So,
the one player I really expected to see more out of that we haven't is Cardoso. I really expected her to be a bigger force down low.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Reese is the bigger force down low, honestly, is a problem in my mind.
Yep.
Right? She's 6'7". She should be cleaning the board up, no question. And some people like Reese should have more assists because she should be able to score because she's under the basket. Right.
Well, and that's one of the things that people have like pointed out as far as like during this double streak is that Cardoso is constantly getting double teamed because she's so big. So that frees up Angel Reese to get the boards. And again, not taking anything away from her motor and her ability to get the proper angles and stuff like that to get the rebounds.
To be fair, though,
but
Cardoso was getting the same
rebound. She was injured in the beginning of the season, so it's taking her a little bit of time. But that was something else that people were complaining about is like, why isn't she getting more minutes? You know what I'm saying? To be able to play down low. So people were questioning whether or not she wasn't getting the minutes just so that Angel Reese can keep her double streak going, which, I don't watch the Chicago Sky every game to know if that's the case, but I don't understand why the girl's not on the court more because that's an insane dynamic when you have Cardoso and Angel Reese on the floor at the same time. Like that's a hell of a lot of size in the front court.
Exactly.
So my thing would be with that, and my last point on that would be this. Do we know if the coaching staff knows how to use both Angel Reese and Cardoso in the game at the same time?
Or are they question.
Are they trying to feel their way through it? I know I've coached high school basketball for 30 years, girls, and I know when I had 2 5'10" to 6 feet girls, I just played them both in the game at the same time.
Right.
And one's shooting a little bit further from the basket than the others, and that's how
that's the problem. There is that neither one of them. Angel Reese is starting to work on her, outside shooting and perimeter shooting, so that could help them. The better she gets with that, but neither one of them has much of an outside game. They're both low post players. But this is Teresa Weatherspoon's first season as the Sky coach. So as she gets more familiar and more practice time with her team, maybe they'll find a better way of using both of them at the same time. But that's a good point there, Scott.
Yeah.
So I here's the question for your for Clark's coach is you have the number 1 pick this year. You had the number 1 pick last year.
Yep.
And they had the number 2.
The number 2 pick the year before that.
Yeah.
So, and at this point, if you can't come up with a winning starting 5, having a first overall pick 3 years in a row, I'm going to go with maybe coaching's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not a good coach. I've watched them play over and over again.
She's not, and she favors certain players that she's known for a long time that wind up getting more minutes than they need to be getting. So it's that's been a topic of discussion for a lot of Indiana Fever fans is coach sides, and her lack of being able, like, she wants them to play a half court game. And again, you got one of the best facilitators, one of the best, pushing the pace type players.
So we're going to see this.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean,
I can't wait.
Game, right?
The All-Star game against the Team USA. We're gonna see a lot of.
So I will say this: that Olympic team better win.
I was just about to say, Bo, they better come ready to play, because you better believe those all-stars are going to try to make a statement in that game.
If Caitlin Clark scores 36 points in that All-Star game, watch out. Watch out.
That Olympic team better beat them handily.
Right. No doubt.
Because otherwise, this Olympic selection committee looks bad.
They certainly do. There's no doubt.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not even mad at their selections.
No.
Right? Because you're talking about rookies that haven't done anything yet when they have to select the team. So I'm actually not mad at it that they were left off that team.
Right.
I'm good with it. That being said, they better not beat your Olympic team.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Last point on this. This could be the Team USA's toughest game in this All-Star game for the whole thing.
Yeah, probably.
Could be.
Probably.
Yep. Anyway, now that I've derailed the show into WNBA talk,
I thought I came on a football.
That's the best. That's the best coverage.
It's fine.
Where else are you going to get WNBA coverage like this?
Hey, that's right. Hey, I mean, not even the WNBA can get this coverage. So
that's the problem right there, right? Prime example of this, right? And if any exec from WNBA happens to be watching this show, return an email. Come on. I'm trying to cover your sport.
Right.
I can't even get a return email from you guys.
Right. Email the bonosfootball@gmail.com. Contractual arrangements.
Access sports, baby. Access
That's
sports.
Right. I mean, I've been on the field places. Like, let me be at this game.
Yes.
Help me help you. Help me
right.
help you.
What are we doing right now? We actually talk about WNBA a lot on our daily show. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, no.
Return an email.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a problem. But pay attention, WNBA execs. It's happening. Yeah, The other thing I wanted to talk about was Sir Charles Barkley had a quote that he was not very thrilled with the way the NBA's heading into streaming services. He thinks the players are greedy and the owners are greedy. They don't really care about anything but how to make the most money possible. We should never put money above the regular fan. Everybody can't afford streaming. There's nothing wrong with streaming, but when you start going to the highest bidder and you're not on regular television, I think you're doing a disservice to the fan. I happen to agree with that somewhat, but I also
have you both seen where sports is going now?
Right.
It's going streaming services. Yeah. NFL, Amazon, Roku, wherever. Prime, WWE now is on Netflix. Going to be on Netflix.
Paramount.
Yeah, Alan, just returned. That's all.
It's all going. It's all going to streaming service. That's the way sports. That's the way the new sports in the next 5 years is going to be. Every sport is going to be on a streaming service.
They're basically circumventing the cable company.
I found the good ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're just getting around the cable companies. So the cable companies can no longer charge you $400 a month so you can actually watch sports. Now you can pick and choose. Now, obviously, there's been some issues with that. That's why the NFL is in a lawsuit right now with Sunday Ticket, because that was supposed to cover all the games, and they started peeling games out of it. It becomes this class action lawsuit that they are currently losing. So, I mean, the NBA is going to have to be very careful about how it is they do this, because we now have a blueprint of one of the most untouchable companies having a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against them that they will not win. So one.
Oh no! Oh no!
See what all that WNBA talk did, Sam. Come on.
Yeah, look what I've done. Oh, damn it.
But I mean, you can't be mad. It's going. This is the way sports is going to be now.
Yeah,
years.
Unfortunately, that's just the way. That's
cable
just the way
provider
technology is. It's the way sports has gone. I hear what Charles Barkley is saying. As a Yankee fan, I listen to New York sports radio, so I hear a lot of the older fans complaining about Yankee games being on Amazon and on Peacock and all this and that. And, you know what I'm saying? And does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, this is where the world is going. You know what I'm saying? So you either you either evolve or you die. You know what I'm saying? Not to make it that extreme, but that's just the way the world is going right now as far as technology. So that's just the way sports, unfortunately, is going to be. What I don't like is when they start putting playoff games and stuff like that on, on Peacock and stuff like that, like playoff games and finals and Super Bowls and stuff like that. That should be free to everybody. You shouldn't; those shouldn't be on streaming services.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? As long as they leave the playoff games alone so that everybody can watch the playoff games, then I have no problem with it. It sucks to have all these different streaming services to be able to watch. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have 3 or 4 different streaming services to watch your favorite team. You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned the Yankees, so I gotta have Yes, and I gotta have Peacock, and I gotta have Amazon for those couple games that they play on Amazon and stuff like that. But
Apple TV,
Apple TV, but as long as they leave the playoff games on the regular channels for people to watch, then I got, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just got to deal with it.
Mad at TNT for not ponying up money.
He is mad. He is, bro.
He should be mad at his own company because they couldn't pony up the contract and they didn't value the NBA as much as NBC did and Amazon did and all these other places did. He's not going to be on it. He's not going to be on TV anymore. This is his last year. He's already said it. He's done after this year.
Yep.
So his company did not, and they had the chance to, because in the contracts it said the TNT could match either one of the deals to get the NBA back, and TNT decided they didn't want to do it. So Barkley should have a problem. It should be with his own.
I mean, does TNT have NBC money?
No, they do not. That's the thing.
That's the thing, right?
But if they valued the NBA as much as we thought they did,
right,
which we found out they didn't, they would find the money to pony it up and get it. So
but the comment here that Swoop said, I'm with you on this, bro. And the worst part about this is, I mean, they've kind of already price the average fan out of going to the games.
Yeah,
because going to games is so expensive. So being able to watch it at home is like the least expensive way to be able to enjoy your team. So when they start making it difficult and making it unaffordable at home when you have to get all these different streaming services, I hear what you're saying there, Swoop.
That's why I came off the Sunday ticket. That's why I came off the Sunday ticket, and now on my cable company is Scott Hansen and that package is only $9.99 a month, and that's what I do. I pay the $9.99 a month to watch Scott Hansen. It's almost like Sunday ticket, and it's at a much cheaper rate.
And Scott's really enjoyable too. He does
he's an enjoyable guy to watch. So
he is. He is fun.
My butt is planted in front of the TV watching that package, which is exactly like Sunday ticket.
No love for us diehards that drive there, no matter how bad the team is.
I mean, props to you if you have the means to be able to go to games and stuff like that. Props to you. You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, I save up all year for it. You know what I mean? Like I save a little bit.
Right, you save season tickets for the Titans. Right, yeah, you're on the season ticket list, so that's a little different than the person who just said, "All right, let's go to December 21st. Let's go to that game. The Patriots are playing, say, the Dolphins. Let's go to that game, but you have to save up a paycheck and a half just to go."
Right, rivalry game. Yeah,
right. So if you guys, if you're good with streaming, the way to go. So if you're,
I agree.
Hot take. The U.S.
Fire State.
You have to do NFL Plus to get all the games, right? But they're not all live. But if you have a VPN, you can say you're in a country that they don't naturally broadcast to, and you can get Game Pass, which is only available internationally, and you can get all the games in real time.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go, people.
Less than half the price of what Sunday Ticket used to be.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Because Sunday Ticket's only going up. It's YouTube's charging people $4.19 or something for the whole year.
Yep.
$419 to watch, and people don't watch all the games. You don't see all the games, obviously. So
Game Pass in Mexico.
No.
Damn, he just went to
making fun of the streaming services.
I was about to say the NFL execs. The NFL execs said, "Wait."
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Why does coming on your show like ruin my internet here?
This is Nick's fault, not mine. Nick's fault.
We better get in the NFC West here before something really happens.
I haven't done anything.
But yeah, so in Mexico, it was $130 for Game Pass, and it was all the games, and it was the entire league year. So it wasn't just the season; it was the whole league year. So it's a good way to go if you're willing to spend these $60 a year or whatever it is for a VPN. I forget what I spent on mine. You can get Game Pass.
Nice.
Top right.
Nice.
What is this, Hollywood Squares all of a sudden? I'll go with top right, please.
His name is Circle Takes the Square.
Yes, that is top right is the Hall of Famer, Mr.
It's your
Scott
cousin
Cove.
from Boston.
And yes, he is from Boston.
Say Sherbert. Say Sherbert. Have it.
Yeah. Listen, before Bo gets frozen out for good, we better get to the NFC West before.
Yeah. Oh, right. The whole purpose we're here. Okay. Let's see who's in the NFC West. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
we were just talking about how Jamal Adams is coming to the Titans to save their team.
Oh God!
Not for league minimum, buddy. Not for vet minimum. What if I told you they're going to line him up at nickel? Anyway,
oh God!
I'm going to say you're going to get burned all
I was
day.
just about to say yes.
Unless he's a blitzing nickel. That's,
right.
They made it clear that he is not starting. So
how many throws are in Will Levis's arm?
Can I ask? Boo, you Giants fan. Anyway,
what should have been clear was that he's an outside linebacker.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be so funny if you see him walk out there and line up. I'm like, okay.
That was always his best thing, was being in the box safety that can blitz and stuff like that. He can't cover at all. You know what I'm saying?
I highly doubt they see him as a covering guy. I mean, they're paying him league minimum. We need a depth at safety.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
He's gonna be a third safety that's gonna be playing in the box, bro.
Yes.
So that's what I didn't get is with the safeties that are still on the market, you go and get Jamal Adams. You don't go and get Quandre Diggs.
Right.
Yeah.
Both of which you could have got for the same price because the Seahawks are still paying them both.
Right.
Like they're both on our cap hit.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the only thing
that's actually good at safety.
Yeah. That's what I wanted Miami to get. I wanted Miami to get Diggs, but
he's still out there.
Well, they got the kid that used to be on the Jets and
no, but that's what's crazy is somehow Diggs is still a free agent.
Yeah, has Justin Simmons gotten signed yet? Justin Simmons might still be out there too.
He hasn't. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for safeties, which I don't. Well, I think people are offering them contracts. I think they have an idea of what their value is, and they're.
The thing that's crazy though is the Seahawks are still paying Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's not like you'd have to overpay for the guy. Take him on the 1 year rental.
Yeah.
I agree. Like he doesn't want to play. Right. He's still going to get paid either way. So why not give him something that makes him come to your team?
At this point in the offseason, where training camp is within eyesight now, within the light of sight, these guys are going to have to start coming down on their contractual demands. Teams are gonna have to appeal to their sign the 1 year deal, prove it to me deal, and then you can go out and get a bigger contract next offseason.
Yeah,
that's what's going to come down to right now.
Yeah,
So-
it was Marcus May who the Dolphins signed
Oh, okay.
instead of Diggs, who I wanted. But and
I
I like
think-
it. I mean,
I think
they basically got him for the
That's what I
minimum too, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. But yeah, no, I'm a fan of Diggs. I thought he was a good player. He's still young. So I'm surprised he's still on the market, bro.
Pro Bowler.
Johnny, let's see
dude.
by week 7 if they're regretting that decision not to sign Diggs instead of May. Let's see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a third safety. He's a third safety. They didn't sign him to start, so
I know that. I know.
yeah.
But yeah, the rookies actually reported to camp yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
So
we're
it's coming.
there. We're already
And the
there.
Texans and the already reported to camp. The whole team is in camp now, so it's coming. It's within a week away. So
Yep.
All right, boys, we ready to do what we came here to actually do? At the
Yeah.
start
I
of
thought
this
the show was over. I thought we already covered this. The show's
Guys,
over, right?
back on the bus. We're done at the rest stop. Come on.
All right. Let's do it, host. Go ahead, host. Set it off.
Whoa. Take it easy. All right. This isn't the Bronx, okay? You can't run me over. Anyway. So,
Too late.
yeah. I'm walking here. Anyway. NFC West preview. Do we want to start with 49ers or we're going to go ahead and hit Seahawks? I say 49ers.
I'd start with the bottom. Doesn't usually Nick start with the bottom and go up or up?
Hey, he's not here. We write the
All
rules.
right. Yeah, I'd start with Arizona.
Yeah,
Arizona?
Yeah.
All right, let me get my notes up for that. So I'll go ahead and we'll start with Scott on Arizona. What are your thoughts when you see Arizona? What are you thinking?
So I've always been under the impression that the second year off of an ACL or an Achilles injury is you're going to see the best of the player. And this is Kyler's second year back because he played last 7 or 8 games. You're going to see the best of – I think you're going to see a much better Kyler Murray than you've seen before. He seems to be all into the playbook, all into homework and research and all this other stuff.
They hit it in the Madden game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know, man. College football just came out, so.
Yeah, college football just came out. He might have to play as Oklahoma. But, they've got some nice talent around him. Marvin Harrison drafted, obviously, in the first round. Trey McBride should step up and be much better as a tight end than he was last year with Kyler as his quarterback. I like the Arizona Cardinals this year to maybe not make the playoffs, but I think Arizona could be a much, much improved team this year over last year.
Who's playing video games?
Yeah,
I had the background music. It's just a little easier. Yeah, I'll turn it down a little bit for you.
So I know we're going to get into over/under wins and stuff like that, or wet records. But I think that Arizona is going to be one of those teams this year that is going to cause teams headaches in game planning for them because James Conner's back there. He'll be all right. Once he gets injured, they drafted that rookie. He'll be a little bit better than last year. Last year's backup. So I kind of like Arizona this year. They're a trendy team for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not the highest on Arizona. I mean,
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, even being an extra year away from the surgery, I'm with you on that, Scott. It's usually the second year where guys get back to their usual selves. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't trust Kyler Murray, to be quite honest. I love the pick of Marvin Harrison. They also drafted Tajon Palmer, another wide receiver. They got some offensive linemen to try to help him out with Isaiah Adams in the third round. I like the Trey McBride kid at tight end. I like the pieces that they're putting together. I just don't see them winning many games. I mean, overall, I think they're going to be in last place. I know we'll get to the over-unders and stuff like that. But, yeah, I definitely think Arizona would be my pick to finish last in that division.
Kenny, that's going to change this year. Wait.
Yeah.
It's going to change this year.
Mr. Bo, your rival.
I agree that they're going to be in last place. They are going to be an interesting team, though. And some of what people overlook on this team is they had like every other pick in the last 2 rounds. Like they had so many picks in this draft, it was unreal. So
Yeah.
I am really interested to see their preseason work, right? Preseason games and everything, because you're going to see some of those late round guys show out. So this is the team that's going to ultimately be kind of scrappy. They're going to win some games they probably shouldn't, and they're going to lose games they shouldn't too. But they're not going to be a good team, but they are going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Some good young talent, like you mentioned. Yeah, Darius Robinson, they got late in the first round as well. The defensive end. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because, I think they had, 13 picks or something like that.
How fitting of your name, Hot Take.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
they can't be worse. They can't be worse than last year. They got to be better than last year. Last year, they were just garbage, disaster, mess.
Yeah.
The quarterback position's much, much better in the NFL. That makes you a better team.
I mean, that's not even a hot take. That's like molten lava take.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Well, lava cake? Where?
Yes.
I mean, the only advantage that they have, I'm nowhere near with you, Hot Take City, but is that they're in the NFC. That's the only thing. But I don't see them making the playoffs.
Bo, did you give yours already?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have a ton to add because you guys already hit the high points of it.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they have so much potential depth coming out, that's what's really interesting. As far as making the playoffs, the odds are so low because this division is going to cannibalize itself and the North is going to cannibalize itself. So the odds of Arizona making it through is pretty low, especially when you figure the schedule Seattle has, that the West has, I should say, is a tough road.
Gotcha. The way I look at it, I'm not a believer in Kyler Murray. I never have been. I'm just not wild about him. We have this thing where we think short quarterbacks can do everything and whatever. I think short quarterbacks, there are exemptions to the rule as opposed to, this guy can do it, this guy can do it. No, I don't think that's how it works. And the video game clause in the contract still weighs heavy on my head forever and ever. But I do think Trey McBride will have the most receptions on the team because everybody likes a tight end that's your safety blanket, and Kyler is going to need his safety blanket. My big question for them is, are they going to be able to stop the run? They were not very good at stopping the run. So, oh my goodness, what's going on? Lions, Eagles, Packers.
Damn.
God dang. All right.
So I'm going to go with the people in the comments don't actually like you, Sam.
I thought I made a good point, but that's cool. Whatever. Hot Take is nice to me sometimes, but he's just going to slide up in my DMs later and go, "Hey, baby, are you okay?" Whatever. Anyway, so we're talking about that. You can talk about the Titans next week because Lord knows no one's going to let me speak next week. I can feel it. Anyway.
Well, no, we already covered everything about the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. No, yeah. Come crawling back, Hot Take. Come crawling back. They always come back, baby. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Titans team just hinges on whatever Jamal Adams does.
Yeah, it's not Will Levis. Screw that. It's just that's the whole thing.
Captain Mayonnaise isn't going to make a difference.
Forget the offensive-minded head coach. This is all that matters. This one signing, this veteran minimum deal. We're talking about the Cardinals. Stop it. Anyway, so
I think we're done with the Cardinals.
Yeah, okay. Look, they can't stop the run very well. I don't believe in them either.
I'm not hearing the difference. Titans, Cardinals, same team. I don't know.
I am a lava cake right now. You hear me?
Did anybody hear that mic drop that just came out of Bo's side in the screen?
He is Kenny. Thank you.
He is. I like that kid a lot.
I'm a big fan of the Tulane graduate myself. Okay, so yeah, they can't stop the run. I'm not a big believer. Next up, let's do Bo's Own. Seattle Seahawks. So go right ahead, Mr. Bo. Give it to us.
Yeah, so this team is going to be we don't know what it's going to be, right? There's so many new pieces. So
mine either, but you guys figured out mine, so I guess whatever.
So we have new coach, which is encouraging. right?
Mhm.
You have a offensive, new offensive coordinator as well. One that likes to throw the ball, and we have some great receivers, but he also likes to dial up tight ends, which is something we haven't done a lot of. So that'll be interesting to see exactly how that comes together. My biggest question for this team is the defense. Now, it's been a bottom 5 defense the last 5 years, right? So you would think that it's going to take a step forward. But at the same time, most of this defense is on 1-year prove-it deals. So either they do, and you can't afford to keep them, or they don't, and you get rid of them anyway. So I don't feel great about exactly where this defense is. But as far as going into this year, even if they take the step forward that I think they should and be a middle-of-the-road defense, like I don't think they're going to be great, but I think they'll be a middle-of-the-road defense. The offense is largely intact. So when that offensive line was healthy, it was a top 5 scoring offense. So if you pair that with a middle-of-the-road defense, that's a playoff team. Right? So I look at where this team is headed is basically they'll be a better team than they were last year, but roughly have the same record. They'll be a 9-win team because the schedule that they have this year is brutal. So they'll be a 9-win team and be that bubble team for the playoffs. The good thing is the North is going to beat itself up, so you can probably get into the playoffs with a 9-win season. But so that's kind of where I see them going. I like where the offense is. I'm intrigued about the defense, although we don't really know what it is.
Well, you have to wait till the after show, Swoop. The after show. It's for our VIP members on our new streaming service. Anyway. Anyway. Ceiling is 10. The floor is 5. Oh, okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. Just to piggyback with Bo there on Seattle, if you don't mind me going next here.
Oh yeah, I was going to go you next anyway. You're my favorite.
You mentioned the unknown about the defense. Now it's a fairly young defense. You mentioned that they signed a bunch of guys on 1-year deals. Yep. I love your secondary. Your corners are really good, including your nickel with Witherspoon.
See the problem, Witherspoon is great. Woolen can make plays, but last year showed he doesn't like to tackle. That's a real problem.
Yes.
Yeah,
so you feel he took a step back?
Oh, big time. He took a huge step back. In fact, he got benched twice for not tackling.
Oh wow.
So as much as I like the idea of Woolen and the skill sets he brings, if you're not going to tackle, you're a liability.
Yeah, unless you're Dion. You got to tackle, bro.
Exactly.
You got to tackle. Okay. Offensively, you know what I'm saying? I like Geno and his development. I like the wide receiver group. I love your running back, of course. What are your? I'm going to ask you. You're the Seattle guy. Obviously Kenneth Walker. You got Zach Charbonnet. Is it going to be a 3 yards in a cloud of dust type team? Are you going to be a running team and just ask Geno to kind of make the plays when they're there, or do you think they may kind of open it up a little bit for Geno this year? This is his 3rd year, I believe, right, with the team. So do you think they open it up a little bit more, or are they going to be a ground and pound type team?
So it's really going to depend on what our offensive line can do. Yeah. So last year, if you remember, both our offensive tackles got hurt in the first half of the first game, right? Then later in that same game, we lost one of our guards. And then the next game, we lost our center. And so we had this rotating cast. We didn't get our original desired starting 5 up front until week 15. You're not going to win a lot of games that way. No. Because the year before that, we watched the Rams and the Cardinals do it. Both those teams were god-awful with no offensive line. So I don't care how good your quarterback is, you're just not going to win a lot of games if you can't stay upright. So if they can stay healthy, then I do think they're going to use a lot of the running game, but both of those running backs are good as pass catchers as well. So they do have some of that dual threat ability, Charbonnet more than Walker. But I do think there will be a little bit more passing. But again, that's reliant on the line staying healthy. If they don't, you're going to do a lot more running because otherwise Geno dies back there. But it's funny because a lot of people hate on Geno and then just ignore the fact that his first year as a starter, he set the single season passing record for the Seahawks.
Right.
So it's not that he can't sling the rock.
What are your thoughts on JSN? Is he going to take the next step? I love this kid. I think he's got all the potential in the world.
He should. Again, receivers are so reliant on that offensive line doing their job.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, when you look at last year, we ran a lot of 13 personnel, which is 3 tight ends and a running back.
Right.
You know what that usually means?
Right.
Is your line is terrible because we weren't throwing to tight ends, right? So I don't care how fast you are and how good your routes are. If your quarterback is running for his life, you're not completing a lot of passes. It's tough to get yards that way. So
I'm with you, man. I'm a Dolphin fan, so I know what it's like to have a horrible offensive line. Yeah, it starts and ends in the trenches, in my opinion. I'm with you on that.
I think what you saw out of Seattle last year was, I think, the ascension of JSN is gonna happen, and I think.
Thank you, Swoop. I needed that.
That's his name from now on. Descension is gonna begin this year. I just think Lockett's been at that level for years, and I think that the new coaching staff wants JSN's dynamic playmaking ability to shine through on this offense. So I think you're going to see JSN with a bigger role, and I think it's going to come at the expense of Tyler Lockett, who's going to be at a reduced role.
So,
receivers don't age well in the NFL. They just
but he's been so reliable for so long, man.
I know that, but I don't think you're going to see the consistent Lockett games of.
So I think you might be surprised, and the only reason I say that is he doesn't try for the yard after catch. He catches the ball and goes to the ground. He doesn't.
He doesn't take a big hit. He doesn't take the big hit.
That's why he's been in the league, because he's not a big guy. He plays incredibly smart. It's something he learned from Doug Baldwin, who also wasn't a huge yak guy. He would get the ball and go to the ground. And so I don't know that you'll necessarily see him get as big of a drop off, because he is the most sure hands on the team. I mean, when you look at DK, although fantastic as an athlete, he'll drop the easy ball. He'll make some spectacular catch, but he'll drop the easy ball. So you have Lockett as the security blanket. I actually think that JSN getting more involved takes touches away from DK more than does Lockett. And the other part of that is, are they looking to potentially move DK after this season? Because you can still get a lot of trade value for him. You don't want to get him hurt. And he has a lot of off-the-ball penalties that are drive killers. Like, he does a lot of unsportsmanlike
personal fouls and stuff.
And so, and those penalties have gone up every single year he's been in the league.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was, he's a rookie, he's going to learn. It is moving, every year he's gotten worse at that. And I wouldn't even care if it was like offensive holding or something like that. Something on the ball, it's, a tic-tac call by, the ref. Instead, it's the play is over and he throws a corner to the ground. Or, and it's just like, man, like, we were on a drive to go win a game. You throw the Bengals corner to the ground in a key spot, kills the drive. So, I mean, it's, it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest, he's a physical specimen, but his route tree is limited as well.
Absolutely.
To be completely honest. So,
So two things. First of all, Swoop, to your point, DK and JSN won't be like AJ and Smith because they don't have the quarterback that.
And because DK is not AJ Brown.
He's not like AJ Brown. He's not like AJ Brown. Number two, I think you got to look at where the coach came from, and I think that could give you a little bit of a hint as to what Seattle wants to do on offense, not what they're going to do. What they want to do is have Kenneth Walker be that stud running back and work everything off of that running attack for them.
Well, no. They have Grubb as their offensive coordinator. They threw the ball a ton in Washington.
You don't think McDonald will want to run the ball
McDonald's is defensive.
He's a defensive guy. He's a
defensive guy, which he's from
Well,
Baltimore.
defensive
coach
coach,
based on what Baltimore did.
No, I got you.
He comes from that tree where Harbaugh wants to run the ball and play defense.
So there's a difference, though. Is Lamar is a runner, like dude can run.
Right.
Gino is not that guy.
I know Gino's not that guy. I know.
But he can't beat you with his legs. That's just not what he does.
Right.
So that takes that element out of it. So he's going to have to throw the ball, and we've seen that Gino can throw the ball.
Right.
So I think Grubb is going to want to use that element as long as he can. Now they're going to run. It'll probably be a very balanced team, but I think a lot of this play calling is going to fall on Grubb because of the success that he's had. And besides, McDonald's going to have his work cut out for him putting together this hodgepodge of defensive players that they just put together.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and if the defense is as bad as you think they possibly can be, you're going to be throwing a lot to try to get back into games. So
I hope you boys in chat show up for the NFC East talk. Goodness gracious!
That's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah. We're not going to say anything. We're just going to post the chat. That's all we're going to do.
Last question. Last question of Seattle for me, Bo.
Except they were in the national championship game, so they had to be pretty decent all season.
What is Seattle's ceiling on offense, do you think, Bo?
What do you mean as far as
points per game, as far as tempo on offense, where they haven't been as
probably
fast?
After that line, like he said.
Yeah.
So they can be a top 5 scoring offense, no question. Okay. They have the talent for that. Okay. I mean, they've proven that because they were able to do it with the exact same guys they have.
Right. Yeah, can that line, like Bo mentioned, can that offensive line hold up so that they can put the points on the board?
That's the key. And what doesn't bode well is Abraham Lucas is on one of the 7 players that hit the PUP list today. So that doesn't make you feel good about it. That being said, he's coming off of a knee surgery, so for him to be the first week of camp isn't a shock that he's on the PUP list anyway. Yeah. So I'm not worried about the PUP list today. Talk to me again in 6 weeks. If he's still on the PUP list, now I'm worried about it.
Yeah, my feeling is once you get to August 20th, 21st, if you're still on the PUP list, I'm going to worry about you whether you're going to
be and Kenny, he is better today than he was then.
Absolutely.
No question. No question.
My question is for Bo while we got him. Scott, do you have anything else to say about the Seahawks?
No, I'm all set.
Okay, all right, cool. I didn't want to disrupt anything.
No, I'm all set.
So my question is, are we going to see Sam Howell this season, Bo? And if we do, when will that be?
Ooh.
If we do, something went very wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have a catchphrase on this show. What is it, boys? I like Sam Howell,
but I actually like Sam Howell, but
I do.
He needs to sit behind a Geno Smith for a year or two.
Yeah,
and develop, and then he may, because he's got some talent. So if he can, if he doesn't have to play this year, it's probably the best thing for him.
If you see Sam Howell, the Seahawks are 0-6, and they haven't scored more than 80 points this year. That's how you go.
Won't you stare at the TV when Sam Howell's on there and go get him, buddy, and just pat your chest a little bit,
No.
He likes throwing to the other team with the other colors on their jerseys than his own team.
I would have rather kept Locke, honestly.
Yeah, I would have too.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The problem was they couldn't afford to keep Locke. So
right.
Every time he came in, he played well enough to get paid too much to stay on a team that was up against the cap. So
Locke's looking for a starting job. That's why he went to New York, Bo.
He's probably going to get a starting job in New York because Daniel Jones. Everybody always says that the master manipulator when it comes to a contract is Kirk Cousins, but I mean. I think Daniel Jones got him because his best year wasn't because of him. It was because of Saquon. and he had one good season. It came at the right time, and now the benchmark for
why am I in this conversation?
the benchmark for mid is $40 million a year. So
Right.
Yeah, Daniel Jones needs to give his agent a nice big fat raise because
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Dave Gettleman.
I would not be surprised if Drew Lock beats him out for this job.
Wow. Goodness
That's
gracious.
a hot take right there.
I love it. All right. I look at the Seahawks, and I think they're going to have a rougher year than last year, only because that you're switching from Pete Carroll to a new head coach, and history shows most of the time that there is a bit of a dip there. Sometimes it's a bit of a spike, and it might be a spike, but I'll go with I think more than likely they're going to suffer a little bit here. But I really like the Seahawks. It's hard for me not to, but you're not the Cardinals, so that's how I'll. You are not the Cardinals, and I did enjoy the Geno Smith tour last year. That was a pleasant surprise. I think we all look for great storylines around the league, and that was definitely one of them. It probably top 3 storylines around the league, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Next up, it's them formerly of St. Louis Rams, and we'll go back up here to Scott. Scott.
So Sean McVay ran the most 3 wide receiver personnel in the NFL last year. I think he ran it like 95%. So the DeMarcus Robinson rise was not surprising to me because of that fact. I'm a little nervous about Kyron Williams this year. Don't know why. I just am a little nervous that he's not going to be able to duplicate what he did last year, which gives me great pause in terms of what the Rams want to do on offense because they want to run the ball to set up the pass. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think Matt Stafford's going to have to throw the ball 40 times every game in that McVay offense. Because of the division they're in, they're going to finish second place. And there's just no question about it. But on the defensive side of the ball, that's where my biggest worry is with them. How are they going to handle our team defensively? They do have a tough schedule, which will lead to a lot of struggles on defense. There's a lot of good passes in that schedule, which means that their secondary is going to have to grow up really fast this year. So on offense, I think they'll be a top 8 to 10 offense. On defense, they're going to have to at least finish middle of the road, and I don't know if they can do that. I'm looking at them as a 20th ranked defense somewhere in that vicinity. So they'll finish second place because of the who's in back of them. But I just think that they need to focus preseason defensively. And that's what my take is with them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Aaron Donald loss is huge. I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest defensive players of all time. But, I mean, to have a Jared Verse fall in your lap at pick 24 was incredible for them, especially since that was the first round pick they've had since their notorious F them picks to win a Super Bowl. And then they, Braden Fisk in the second round. I mean, they had like 12 draft picks, and they got a bunch of defensive players. We know about their wide receivers with Kupp and Puka Nacua. I like the running back that they grabbed in the third round, Blake Corum.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, offensively, I think they're going to put up some points as long as they can keep Matthew Stafford upright, which again goes back to the offensive line. I think they're going to put up some points, but I think Jared Verse could be potentially a rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year candidate. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do on defense. But I think they're going to put up a lot of points, and that's going to help them be up there in their division this year. So I like the Rams, pretty much to finish in the same spot that they did last year. And
gotcha.
finish second in this division.
So I have time restraint, so I'm going to give – Bo is going to give me his prediction for the Rams, and he's going to give me the 49ers, and then Scott will give me his 49ers as well, and we'll kind of pick it up a little bit. All right, Bo, go ahead and give me your Rams take first.
Yeah, so I don't think I don't feel like they're going to be the second spot in this division. I actually think they end up with the same record as the Seahawks, but finish third. So I think it comes down to divisional wins, but there's a lot of questions, and then the health of Stafford is what really comes to mind for me. And their backup is now Jimmy G.
I'm so tired.
So although his win percentage is impressive, Jimmy G finds a way to lose games that matter.
That's a pretty smile.
So I'm going to go with they finished third in this division. But talk about a quick turnaround on this rebuild after pushing all the chips to get a ring. Because it could have taken a lot longer than it has. They will be a team that will give teams trouble.
Absolutely. Hey, yeah, and from what we heard this week, apparently Jimmy G gets his wide receivers killed. So
he does.
So let's hope that the Rams can keep Matthew Stafford upright.
Did him dirty.
I heard that, and I thought I imagined it. I was like, wait, what?
Right. That Netflix series Receiver. If anybody hasn't watched it, watch it. It is
extraordinary. Watch it.
They did Jimmy G so dirty in that series. It was unreal. They made it look like that dude had never completed a pass in his life.
Well, I mean, the biggest pass of his life, he missed it in that Super Bowl.
Only by 5 yards. It's fine.
Yeah.
Did it skip on the ground?
No, he overthrew him. He overthrew him.
Remember when Bill Belichick said Jimmy G was going to be the greatest quarterback? What happened to that? It's gone. It's completely gone. Jimmy G is not shown.
He was fantastic with the Patriots, though.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah,
he was.
But they weren't asking him to do a lot, to be completely honest.
They had a line that didn't get him hit.
My system. That's right. My system. Okay, Bo, go ahead and give us your 49ers take real quick.
Yeah, I mean, they probably cruise in this division one more time. This is their last run at it, though. Because after this season, they got a lot of contracts that they have to try and figure out, and the cap isn't going to let it happen. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why Ayuk hasn't gotten paid yet, is they have to try and figure out what is the length of the rebuild they're willing to do. Because they are right around the corner from playing Purdy, and they're going to have to pay him. I mean, he's played well enough, they're going to pay him. Whether you think he's a lead or not, it doesn't matter. We've seen that average is getting you 55. So that's what he's going to get at a minimum. So then you have Debo that got paid a couple years ago. So you're going to come to Ayuk. CMC gets a new deal. Like, the math doesn't work. So all of a sudden, if you're running this thing back, this is the last year of it. And then you start shedding pieces. So they win this division. They probably are either the number 1 or number 2 seed in the conference. But it's their last shot at it.
Gotcha. Bo, where can we catch you, bud?
Yeah, so you can find me on my channel at Football-Talk. I have about 15 shows a week during the off season and upwards of 20 shows.
You're a busy man.
Yeah. And of course, you can see me on Roku TV 5 days a week.
That's freaking great, Bo. Thanks for coming.
He is awesome. He is a great follow, man.
I actually love your stuff. I try to catch it.
Yes.
I'm riding my forklift and. I'm not. Get out of the way. I'm watching Bo. Anyway, so, 3,000 pounds. Yeah, shut up. I want to watch this.
I will say that's not a scary thought at all. You driving a forklift and watching Bo.
He's gonna say something mean about my team. I want to see it. Hold on.
I think I've seen those videos on YouTube also. of rats getting knocked over.
I got to stand for it. God, it's on the top right. Yeah.
Bo,
I appreciate it.
Well, real quick before you did, Bo. So how do you got it? San Francisco. You said Seattle and the Rams will be tied, but Seattle will have the tiebreaker in second.
Yeah. So
the Rams.
I have the Niners going 12-5. I have the Hawks and the Rams going at 9-8, and Arizona at 7-10.
Okay. Appreciate you, man. Always good talking to you, man.
Absolutely.
Yep. Have a great night,
Bo.
All right, Bo.
Appreciate it, Bo. Oh, absolutely loved having that guy on.
He's a great dude, bro. I had him on, you know what I'm saying, on the Johnny Cruz show and did a nice interview with him when I was doing that back in the day. And he's a lot of fun. He's a really good dude. Really good dude, man. I like Bo a lot.
Absolutely. Scott, before you leave, go ahead and give me your 49ers take as well, and then we'll get your predictions.
I'll kind of agree with Bo with the contracts, but this is what I'll say about the 49ers. CMC is about ready to descend in his career. He's had a lot of wear and tear on that body.
It's some pretty good injuries on there.
Yeah, he's had some good injuries. So I think this might be the last year. Maybe there's another year after this that you'll get max CMC. But I think the cliff is about to come to CMC. The Ayuk stuff, Juwan Jennings is really ripping him on Twitter. If you've seen Juwan Jennings, this is not your team, Brandon. You're not the team. There's other receivers on the team. You know, he's not happy with them right now, which to me lends to believe that there might be some bad blood in the locker room over this Brandon Ayuk stuff. And that could tear apart a team.
Yeah, that's really never good.
Yeah. So if Juwan Jennings is popping off about Brandon Ayuk's contract, if he gets a huge contract, I think Juwan Jennings is going to be the first guy that's out the door as soon as you possibly can. So I would be very careful when you're doing anything with the 49ers in terms of betting or anything else, because I think there could be a couple more losses this year than people think for them, based on chemistry in the locker room. And Kyle Shanahan has a huge job ahead of him this year to keep that chemistry together. So
yeah, I'm with you and Bo pretty much on that. You know, but just overall talent. I mean, they just roster wise from 1 to 53, they got one of the best rosters overall.
System, Scott.
In all of football. So that alone. While I agree with you, I think McCaffrey probably has 2 or 3 more years. They just extended him too. But the drama can affect it. But then again, there was drama with Debo, and then when he got his money, then it's all everybody's all kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? So if they find a way to give Ayuk some money, I think that'll all calm down. But if people are starting to send out messages like you just mentioned, I didn't know about that Jennings thing until just now, so that might be a little bit too deep. But I still think overall talent and that division and the NFC, I still think they win the division. So just to give record, I got them. I'm with Bo. I got them going 12-5. I'm with you with a few more losses. I think 5, maybe even 6 losses this year, but that'll still be enough to win the division. So I got San Francisco at 1 at 12-5. I got the Rams just better than Seattle. I got them at 10-7. I got Seattle at 9-8. And then I got Arizona. I want to say 6 wins, but I think they might be able to get to 7. But I got San Francisco, Rams, Seattle, and then Arizona in a distant 4th.
I like it.
To Alan's point, he's requested a trade, but the 49ers hold all the cards in the trade. They don't have to trade him. He's got to play. Right. He can't hold out, or he's going to get. Yeah, he can't hold out. He's going to get fined $50,000 at the.
Yeah, I think he's good. Scott, you got your predictions? Who's taking this whole thing and all that stuff?
49ers, 11-6. Rams 9-8. Seahawks 9-8 and losing the tiebreaker, and then the Cardinals are 7-10.
I like it. All right, thank you so much, Scott. Get better. It's good to see you again. I can't wait to see you.
Good night, people.
Good night.
Yes.
Good night. And by the way, Sam, remember, Sam.
Oh no, I will not acknowledge Roman Reigns. It's just not going to happen. Listen, I already had to put up with the NFC East crowd watching the NFC West preview show and having my team drug through the mud for no apparent reason.
What the hell?
And that's not even next guys. When we talk AFC South.
All right, Scott, man. Have a good one, man. Be safe, bro.
See ya. All right. Well, this is interesting because I also had the Seahawks going to go second. So I wanted that to be my big surprise. I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to make it through the year. I think that back's going to give out. I think it's done. He'll get hit or something like that, and they'll be stuck. stuck with Jimmy G. I hate all of you. God dang it. The show I get to host, Johnny. This is what happens.
Hey, we get a lot of comment interaction, man. So that's
I love it. Hey, I'm all about it. I just
great,
wish,
man. We're having fun.
I know. I'm playing the part, I guess. I'll cry in the shower later. Anyway, so the way I see it, Johnny, is the 49ers are clearly going to take this division. I do think they struggle a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I do think that there's a Super Bowl letdown. I think it's going to happen. I think people are going to start kind of doubting. Wait till tomorrow. Yeah, great. On the mat, is on tomorrow. I cried all my tears last year. Hot take. I'm dead inside now, buddy. Anyway, so basically, I look at the 49ers. I think they're going to struggle more this year. I think Brock Purdy's going to have a rougher time this year. I think we start to see more erratic Brock Purdy this year. I have them winning 11 games and not 12 because of that. I have the Seahawks going 9-8. I have the Rams going 8-9, mainly because Matthew Stafford doesn't make it through the year. I don't think he makes it. And they have to rely on Jimmy G, and we know how that goes. Oh, and the best defensive lineman to do it is gone. Right. So that's just how it is. And the Cardinals, because I think they're a mess right now. They need to get a quarterback that's not Kyler Murray. So.
Yeah. I'm not big on Kyler Murray. I see Allen there with his hot take that Arizona overtakes Seattle for third. But no, I'm with you. I mean, obviously everything depends on health. But if Matthew Stafford goes down anytime early in the season, then that could be disastrous for the Rams.
Even if it's 5 weeks, you know what I mean, or something. Yeah, it's just.
I think the division itself may be a little bit more competitive because I'm with you. I think if there is as much drama in San Francisco as what's coming out, then maybe they do come down to the pack a little bit, but I just think their overall talent will keep them. But I'm with you, somewhere around 11, 12 wins for San Francisco. But it's gonna be fun, man. We're getting that much closer to the right, the training camp, man. It's awesome, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a great time to be a sports fan.
8 more Sundays, baby.
Yeah,
get us through this dead zone period. Johnny, you got anything going on this week?
No, I am chilling. I am recuperating and just taking it easy, chilling, doing what I got to do. But always fun to be here with you guys. Again, sorry I missed a bunch of shows earlier. Stuff was going on, but I'm back at them. Hopefully you get to see my face on Monday. Let's see how my back is feeling. But no, just glad to be on the show with you. Looking forward to Nick coming back and seeing all the shit talk that he's gonna give you for hosting this show. Even though I think you did a great job, Sam. I think you've done a great job. We had a lot of fun with Bo. We had a good WNBA conversation in the beginning. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then we broke down the NFC West. I mean, how much can you break down the NFC West, though, to be completely honest, to be fair? You know what I'm saying? It's the NFC West. I mean, come on. So, it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to Monday. And keep your ears and eyes open. I'm going to be coming back with a show at some point here, trying to put things together where I'll be talking about everything. So you'll hear WNBA talk, baseball, football, basketball, hockey. I may even throw in some volleyball there now you skipped for Sam since I skipped them earlier. But I'm going to talk all sports on the Let's Talk Sports Network. So just keep an ear out. Keep your eyes open for that. Hopefully, I can put it together sooner than later.
Hey, I'm all about it. I've got On the Mat tomorrow after SmackDown. I think it's about 9:15 Central Time. We'll be talking everything that transpired on WWE SmackDown as we prepare for SummerSlam. Super stoked about that. Saturday, I'm getting to it. Hot take. It's AFC South next week, so all your crap talking on my team can happen next week. And Nick will more than likely click on every single comment about the Titans and put it up there. And I hope I get to punch some teams in the mouth next year, and I think I'm going to. But anyway, that's not the point. That's for next week. Then I got Fanboys Unleashed on Saturday. We'll be talking everything that transpired on WWE SmackDown as we prepare for SummerSlam. Super stoked about that. Saturday, And we have a list of all the battles going on the Titans on the right side of the offensive line and other things. And we are going to be talking about who we think is going to take that position from right guard to right tackle, inside linebacker, all that stuff. Yeah, well, you don't say. Hot take. I didn't have to do anything today, and y'all drug it anyway. So I don't have to do anything. I'm just, hey, how's everybody doing?
Keep doing what you're doing, Sam. You're doing a great job, man.
I know.
This is a must follow here on all social media platforms as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's all we've got. We will be back next Monday, and we will have our usual. We'll have Jim Behringer on to talk some hockey and some wrestling, and then we'll have our baseball guy, our coach Jonathan Grishman, on as well, and that'll start about 8 p.m. Central Time on the Let's Talk Sports Network. What time? 8 p.m. Central for the Thursday show as well. AFC South will be covering it. We'll have the Texans guys on here. I'm just going to have a hell of a day next Thursday. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I'm going to what's up, Johnny. I'm going to go to the 10s. I'm going to go to the 10s.
Yeah, the LTS shows are every Monday and Thursday, 9 Eastern Time, 8 Central, like Sam just mentioned. But what about your fanboys Unleashed? Let them know what time.
Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. We will be talking all the position battles and all that. How about them Oilers, not the Edmonton kind? Well, I would, we get to wear the jerseys once this year, but they talked about changing that. But anyway, so we will see y'all later. It's been great to be on here. It's great to host. I love talking football. I love seeing Bo. It's been a little
that was fun. Thank you, Bo. And thanks for all the people in the comment section. Appreciate you guys.
Dude, come back.
Hit that subscribe button. Give us a big fat thumbs up.
Yes. Love to have you. Love to talk to sports. Love to talk the sports with you. Wow.
Love to talk sports ball with everybody.
It's great to talk women's volleyball with you. So y'all have a fantastic evening. We will see you next Monday at 8 p.m. Central on the Let's Talk Sports Network. See ya.